Good evening. I'm really happy to be here. As usual, when I do a live, I just want to start by warming up a little bit myself. It's always a little bit uncomfortable to go on a live, and today I'm doing something different. I'm doing it in English. Usually I do it in Dutch lately, but I have also French-speaking clients, and I thought, maybe I should do this in English and see what happens with by speaking into another language. And today I want to talk about, we are in the beginning of the year, so Happy New Year to everybody. But while we have this new year, we have also a lot of good resolutions. And when we do have those nice resolutions, we actually feel that we should do something, change something. And usually it's the time of the year where we start thinking about what is good for us to do and the goals that we have, what we think should be the next step in our lives. And on the other hand, we also know that the 10th of January is the date when a lot of people give up on their resolutions. Why is that? It's too bad. And that is because people don't actually know how much action there is required to do things. And on the other hand, people don't always know exactly how they can get things structured, but keep consistency in what they're doing. And that is building a new habit. And a new habit takes about 60 days to make sure that you can maintain it and that it becomes a habit. But before that, you do that, you obviously have to take action and do tough things. And today, I want to talk about actually something completely different. It's not that much about the goals this time. If you want, I'll have a webinar on the 22nd and the 29th of January where I'll go specifically into the 90-day plan with reverse engineering so that you actually get to see exactly how you can build a plan, because I see all my clients have a hard time to do that. It's simple, it looks simple, but it's not really that easy to do, and people get really confused. So if that's something that you want to do together with me, then you can send me a DM. I'll send you the link so that you can basically participate in that masterclass. But here I want to have it about a great attitude, because a great attitude is something that we forget how important it is. When you do have a great attitude and it's important in your personal life, but it's also important in your professional life, obviously. But when you have a great attitude and you know how important that is, then you also know that you have gold in your hands, because your attitude is going to make a difference. It's something that that no competition can copy from you, because it's something from yourself. It's something that you have, and it's so much more worth than a great product. Just imagine and think about an experience that you've had yourself. You go to a restaurant, you order food, and the food is really delicious. But the one that is serving the food to you is obnoxious. It's not really smiling. It's not answering your question correctly. Is actually not showing any interest in you. Would you like to go back there, even if the food was really, really good? Most probably not. But if you go to a restaurant where the food is maybe not as good, but the experience with the person that is serving you is so good that you actually have a great experience, what do? You probably will go back there, even if the food was not at the level where you expected it to be, but you certainly will go back. So people want to feel good. They want to feel that they are understood. Um, People actually buy experiences. They buy things that they like. They buy things that they feel happy about, that makes them smile, that makes them feel good. They have a really positive experience. And that is also in your sales. That is also when you talk with customers. They have to feel good. When they feel good, when they feel understood, when you make them feel special, they probably will go to you and come back to you more often than if you're not, right? Um, so I think it's important that you understand that even if you have a great product, you probably will not have the right clients coming to you if you are not having the right attitude. So the attitude is one of the first steps in the perfect sales cycle. And I've heard from clients saying, yeah, I know that, I know how it works. But actually, it's it's not something that is so easily to understand. Well, easy to understand, yes, but not that easy to do. We are so much surrounded by negativity in our lives, by people that are not feeling good and not experiencing nice stuff. So what happens then is that they probably will influence you in a negative way, because negativity is like a virus and it's going really quickly. I had a client here today working on the 90-day on the goals for this year and for the next coming 5 years. And at one point, he said to me, he said, I have to secure things because when the war will explode in Europe, then I want to make sure that I have set things aside. And I was thinking, oh my God, I don't really look at the news, so I'm not being influenced by the media. I do listen to the radio, but I haven't heard it as specifically as that. But it's the second time I hear somebody talking about the war coming into Europe and being something that could explode. So it means that the media is really putting a lot of that worriness in the minds of people. And then people start talking about it. And the more people talk about it, the more that the media is taking, the upper hand. And by that, it means as well that people are getting that negativity inside. And that means that it will influence you from a business perspective. It will influence you probably from a personal perspective as well. But business-wise, people will start to contract. They will start to make sure that they are going to be protective, keeping their money safe, not making any investments, feeling like they have to secure something. Whereas in those kind of circumstances, we should just be the ones to show the opposite, show that things can happen differently, show the positiveness about it. It's not because the negativity of war can be there that there is not something else next to it that can surpass that. Obviously, I have no control over what's going to happen, but suppose I'm thinking about that right now so much that I will start acting in that direction and that it will never happen. I will have, in a way, failed in what my possibilities were. So my attitude versus what I hear and what I see is also something that I can control. Do I want to go into that bad news? Do I want to be like everybody else and talking about negativity? Or do I want to keep it from a positive point of view and look at things from an opportunity perspective? And when there is a problem, there is also an opportunity. But in any case, I'm thinking back of my kids as well, because people spend or tend to spend a lot more money into education, into experiences, than they do spend it into education. And when you spend it into experiences, is because, again, you want to feel good. If you spend it into education, you probably will be able to build up your skills and sell also your skills in one way or the other. But if you are spending so much more money into experiences, wouldn't it be then a good idea to start having the right attitude with each one of your clients? Because if they want to have the experience, then you're better off to have the right attitude to work with them. And I was thinking of my kids because they are at school, they're 16 years old, I have twins, and they don't like the education. They don't like going to school. And I asked them, I said, why is that? Because the content isn't interesting enough, or is it anything else? And what they actually said first is that the experience of the relationship with the teacher is not great. And so if the teacher was to their level, if they felt they had a good experience with the teacher, they probably would be more motivated to work on their education and make good results, so that they can be proud of what they can show to the teacher, so that the teacher can also congratulate them, right? And so I think that's the big difference, is where people don't always understand how important it really is to build up that attitude and make sure that people feel good. And if you have that, if you know exactly what the customer needs, how you can approach them with a smile, with agreeing, Telling them that every time they ask something, you could say, well, we don't have that, or we don't do that. Well, why wouldn't you say it in the opposite? Why would you not say, there is no problem. I can help you. I can do whatever I can to help you. And even if you don't know at that point how you're going to do it, at least you will find a way to get to do it. And you might still explain in the end that something is not going to be exactly what they want. It might be a little bit different, but by the fact that you tried and that you got to where you are, it's better than nothing at all. And the person will feel that, the client will feel that as a great experience as well. So make sure that you trade your money for experience. Make sure that that is the first thing that you set up before that you have a great product. And the great product or the great service that you have, that will increase in quality by the time that you know from your clients what they need and how they would like to use it, because then you can adapt it and change it. But if you don't have a client that is coming back and is not feeling well understood and liked, then they probably will not share that information with you, and then they will not come back. So in that context, it's important that you understand exactly what attitude means for yourself, but also for your clients. And don't you feel better yourself when you're positive? It's like a muscle. You need to train that muscle, right? Every time that you feel that you're going to go in that negative thinking, then change that mindset and try to think from, how can I say that differently? How can I act upon that differently? How can I be in the shoes of the client? Because if I make myself to be in the shoes of the client, I most probably will know what the right attitude is to have. I like to compare with my kids as well, just because they are at the age where they are going to have a lot of discussions and arguments. But what they say about when my son is saying, well, I don't like when my sister is saying this or that, well, she has the same about him. And they don't realize that actually what they're doing to the other is what they don't like to get from the other. So when you are getting conscious about that and realize that when you are in the shoes of the other, you probably will understand what you need, what it is that you would like to experience, what is the kind of positive attitude that you would like to have. And when you do that, be honest, you will feel so much better. You really will feel like a person that is a lot lighter in life. You will have that feeling that there is so much more that you can do. You don't want to trade money for a bad experience, money that you have worked for so really hard, for somebody that has a bad attitude. I don't would like to do it. So anyway, I just want to share that today. I thought January is actually a nice month to talk about attitude and mindset. A lot of people are talking about the goals, but the goals go together with the attitude and with that mindset. If you don't have it, then you probably will already be starting off the year in failure, if I may say, because if you have to battle for your clients, then you're probably not in the right position. If you have the right attitude and the right energy, clients will most probably feel a lot better and attracted to you, so that they can decide and choose to work with you, right? So with that, I would like to tell you that you can get in touch with me if you feel like this is a good moment to have a discussion about how you can attract your clients, how you can set up a better marketing plan to get to where you want to be, where the attitude is part of it, obviously, it's part of your strategy. But send me a DM and I can book a call with you just for half an hour to be already thinking strategically of what your needs are and how I can help you in this. Okay? So have a great evening, and I'll see you in a week. Bye.